Hey there. Saw Waiting for Superman yesterday, and I thought it was amazing. There's no way I can't give it a 9. Maybe even a 9.5. It's a documentary about America's crumbling education system and desperate people who are wanting to reform it. It's also about a group of children who are entering lotteries to get into their local successful charter schools, who apparently know how to teach. Again, got to give it a 9, maybe even a 9.5. I'm a big fan of documentaries. I love learning about things that I wouldn't normally learn about. I probably should know something about this, being in the education system, but again, I found it very informative. The information was presented cleverly and in easy to understand charts, and the information is shocking. It's mostly presented through interviews with people, and then fly on the wall just watching them live, and graphs, charts, animation. Really, I mean, just your standard documentary fare. The director's name escapes me. He did An Inconvenient Truth. I want to say Guggenheim. David Guggenheim. Again, don't hold me to that. Anyway, he did An Inconvenient Truth. Now he's doing Waiting for Superman. There's also a book. I implore you to see this movie. Read the book. Rent it when it comes out. And then act upon it. Or do something about it. Tell another person. You know, that's the least you could do. And that's still a lot. Tell another person. Again, I love this movie. I got choked up a lot. I can't remember a movie where children, or a documentary at least, I mean, maybe besides the Up series, like, you know, 7 and up, 14 and up, where they go back and chronicle their lives all the way to adulthood. I can't think of another documentary where they just let kids talk. You know, kids have no option but to be honest, you know, and they say that the camera only captures truth. So, I don't know, when you combine those two and you see these kids, like little kids, 2nd grade, on this giant screen, and their eyes are filled with, you know, hopes and dreams and, you know, not understanding. It's really effective. It's really powerful. I enjoyed the juxtaposition between the Talking Heads kids and the Talking Heads adults. You could see great differences in children and adults. And I think one of the main themes of the film is that we sacrifice our children's happiness, our children's well-being, for our happiness and our well-being. And I think that that's part of, you know, again, I think that even comes through visually. Because you see, you know, you got your kids and you got your adults, and they go back and forth between the two. Again, just really amazed by this. Really touched. Easily the best documentary I've seen since The Cove. It'll probably be my documentary of the year. One, it was just so well made, and two, the information, it can't be ignored. It can't be ignored. So I think not only is it very well done, but I think it's very important. The kids were great. The adults were great. I'd never heard of some of the people who were trying to reform our education system. We get to know a lot about them. We just get to know a lot about the problem. And I appreciated it. I felt like a much better human being coming out of this movie. It was like, we got to do something. I felt like I was in a position to do something. And again, telling people to watch this movie or telling people about the problem, I think, is doing something. But you got to see this movie. There's no way around it. You got to see it. It's a must. Again, I have trouble giving it a 10 because I don't want to call it a perfect film. I don't. Even though I probably could. I mean, I felt that maybe. You see, I'm trying to think of a reason not to give it a 10, and I really can't, other than the fact that I don't like handing out 10s. Because again, I feel that that's perfection. And there's not many of those out there. So, again, I'm just talking myself out of giving Waiting for Superman a 10. So maybe a 9.5. Again, you will be touched. You will be outraged. There was a lot of... The theater was decently crowded. It was at a big theater, and I'd say it was less than a quarter full, so maybe not too crowded. But there was a lot of going on, just a lot of, not laughter and not like, oh my God, but it's just like, just not being able to understand these things that are happening right outside of the theater. So it's pretty eye-opening. It's an eye-opening experience. So that's Waiting for Superman. Really can't put much more else in there. 9.5. I have no problem giving it that. I think it's a must-see. It's documentary of the year so far. Thank you.